The Community Redevelopment Agency from March 10th will come to order. Please silence your cell phones. City Clerk, if you would call the roll, please.
Mayor Owen.
Here.
Vice Mayor Clody.
Here.
Commissioner Hartman.
Here.
Commissioner McGurk.
Here.
Commissioner Sacks.
Here.
Thank you.
All right, first item up, public participation. Any member of the public wish to comment on this item? Not parking, please. All right, seeing no public participation, I think we have a presentation by Colin.
This is a very interesting item. The Housing Authority, they're trying to build a duplex just north of the one we just built. However, there was a survey back in 1906. They did a new survey. There is about 9 feet, 0.52 inches, that it sits on the north side of the property, and it's a public right-of-way. However, the residents who own the lots on the north side and the easement which sits on his south side, they encroached on the public right-of-way. Now, they have two options. Really, to clear the issue, they could go back and they could make this guy move the fence, but that takes some time. So the way they figured it out, they said, we will dedicate from the Housing Authority property some portion of it to make it 15 foot so they could have the driveway on that side. The staff is supporting it in order for them to continue to build this affordable housing for the senior. But normally, and Mr. Colodi will attest to that, that if you want to really clear it the way it's supposed to, you would move the fence and just keep it the way it is. So they could go back afterwards if they want to and push that guy to move their fence.
Okay. Comments, questions from the commission?
I have discussed this with our manager. I've looked at the plans. I know what the root cause of the problem is. This is the most expeditious way to move our project forward. So I would support it. There's other ways that are very involved and probably more proper from a surveying standpoint, but this doesn't violate any laws and it'll get us what we want quickly.
How long do you know has the fence been there? I mean,
Looks like, I would say, between 20 to 30 years.
yeah.
It's not new fence. It's been there for a long time.
A fence actually doesn't even interfere with our project.
Yeah, okay.
So it doesn't have to come down, doesn't have to be fixed. It's just,
Okay.
the problem is, in Florida and other places too, people would subdivide properties and they would often come up with 6 or 7 lots when there was really only 5. They just put bigger numbers on the map. And eventually that comes to be a problem when you're the last piece in that block.
Yeah.
So we don't have to solve that problem. We just have to get us access. So I would go forward with this.
Any
And
other?
if they weren't doing a driveway on that side, there probably would not be an issue.
Yeah.
So,
Any other comments, questions on this item of staff? If not, do I have a motion on this item?
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay. No other discussion, City Clerk, if you'd call the roll.
Commissioner McGurk.
Yes.
Commissioner Sacks.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Clody.
Yes.
Commissioner Hartman.
Yes.
Mayor Owen.
Yes.
Thank you.
Commissioner Clody or Vice Mayor Clody, I appreciate your perspective. It's nice to have expertise in this. All right, any other on today's agenda on this item?
attached to the agenda, there is a proposed CRA capital budget revisions. I'm sure that it was in your package, I hope.
Yes, it was.
I think we talked about this briefly. I think Tony talked to you at some meeting. We revised some of the numbers that were previously approved. We have an explanation in each one. I'll be more than happy to go over each item and tell you why it was increased. Or if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer the questions. There is probably 10 items on the list that we provided to the county. The difference between what was approved at the time is 3.4 million, and it was increased to 5.1 million. Some of the items were increased because, like, for example, actually there were a reduction on the intersection for US 1 and Canal. Initially, the estimate was at 250,000. When they bid it out, it was almost 100,000. and change. So that was a reduction in that item. But a couple of the items that were increased, for example, converting septic tank to sewers, that was increased from 50,000 to, I think, 250. Another item that was reduced on the brownfields, because they don't pay for any property that is private, so therefore it was reduced from 500,000 to 100,000.
Okay. Why don't we just see if the commission has any specific questions on any items for the manager? Vice Mayor?
I do recall the previous discussions we had last year, and these changes, both in the descriptions and the reason behind them, actually follow those guidelines we gave to, so I can't see why we wouldn't support these changes.
Yeah.
I think they're very well done.
And you don't, we need to make a motion to accept these, or this is just?
Well, I think we motion to, because eventually we have to submit to the county.
Okay.
And also, just on a side note, we are meeting with the county manager and the county attorney on March the 25th. And that is to discuss the proposed revisions to the CRA resolution concerning US 1, so.
Okay. Any other questions, comments on this item? Commissioner Sacks?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, thank you. Comment for my colleagues and a question for staff. So we'll be appearing before Volusia County to revise the delegation of authority to request private property grants for businesses?
Well, the changes is not really private grants, it's more of a, I don't know if you recall the issue that happened with the property on US 1, US 1 in Washington. But mostly it's really to help them, like for example, if they wanted to do any improvements on the property itself, that it might be go to a facade or something, but not to give them a grant like what they've done before. So it's a minor revision to promote some of these businesses and try to help the blight area.
Do you have an idea, thoughts on whether the county would give us the authority to change?
Well, that's why we're meeting with them, Commissioner. I mean, I honestly, at this point, it's still, we're meeting with the staff, and eventually it would go to the county council for their review and approval.
This is the only thing I did oppose. I do believe our whole budget and the items that we're looking to fund are very good. That was the one item I had heartburn with. I thought the best that we use these monies for public assets and the improvement of those, but I'm not going to oppose the vote today because of that. But that does give me heartburn again to provide private property.
Yeah, I remember, as Commissioner Clody said, I think we debated this at the time, so I don't know if we need to relitigate it, because I think staff is following the direction of the majority of the commission at that time, and certainly share some of your concerns, but, we won't rehash all that.
No.
Any other comments or questions on this item? If not, do I have a motion?
I
Go ahead.
make a motion to accept the proposed changes as they've been written and authorize the city manager to forward them to the county.
Okay.
Second.
City Clerk, call the roll, please.
Commissioner McGurk?
Yes.
Commissioner Sacks?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Colodey?
Yes.
Commissioner Hartman?
Yes.
Mayor Owen?
Yes. Any other items for this board?
Thank you.
All right. If no other business, this meeting is adjourned. We'll see you.